Well, Donald Cerrone didn't do much to help his reputation of not being able to win the big one on Saturday. He falls short to Conor McGregor in just 40 seconds in the UFC 246 headliner. Gets really stunned with the first strike at the fight, really is unable to recover at that point, gets stopped a mere seconds later. Donald Cerrone does not land a single strike in this contest, the first time in his UFC career where that happened. And for him, I'm sure he'll be kicking himself a little bit over this performance and hoping he got more out of himself, but this is by no means the end of Donald Cerrone. This guy has been around forever. He just signed the biggest contract of his UFC career. He's definitely going to want to continue fighting and make that money. For him, I think some time off is warranted for sure. He had a very busy 2019, came back, fought on the first card, of course, here in 2020. So I think Cowboy, take a little bit of time off, but I do think we see him stay in the welterweight division going forward. I think this is a better weight class for him as long as he's not fighting, some of the physical monsters, more or less. And there are some fights that make sense. And matchup that I do think would be interesting for him would be against Stephen Wonderboy Thompson. Yes, I know Wonderboy is very highly ranked in this division, but that is a compelling clash of styles. It's not a guy who's going to go in there and try to use wrestling or grappling or anything against Donald Cerrone. He'll definitely want to stand in front of him, and I think the style clash there with Cowboy is pretty fascinating. So I don't know how long Donald Cerrone is going to be out. I'm sure he would love to fight next week if he could, but hopefully the people around him, the UFC, make him take a little bit of time off. He can come back in a few months in a matchup with Wonderboy, who is still recovering from some hand injuries coming off of his last fight. It would be a very interesting, compelling matchup. You could have that co-headline a pay-per-view, headline a fight night, anything like that. So Donald Cerrone, still lots of opponents he hasn't fought in the UFC despite having the most fights in company history. I think we see him and Wonderboy face off sometime this year.